Picture this. You're gliding through snow-capped mountains at sunrise, a cup of coffee warming your hands as endless wilderness unfolds outside your window. No traffic jams, no airport security lines, no cramped airplane seats, just you, the rhythmic clatter of rails, and some of the most breathtaking scenery America has to offer. While most travelers rush from point A to point B, train travel in the US offers something entirely different. The journey becomes the destination itself. Today, we're embarking on an epic adventure across America's most beautiful train routes, from coast to coast, through mountains, deserts, and forests that will leave you speechless. In this video, you'll discover why scenic train travel is experiencing a renaissance. Explore 5 legendary routes that showcase America's natural wonders and uncover hidden gem railways that most travelers never even know exist. Whether you're planning your next adventure or just dreaming of escape, this journey will show you a side of America that few people ever get to see. So settle in, because we're about to explore why train travel might just be the most beautiful way to see the United States. By the end of this video, you'll be booking your own rail adventure. What if I told you there's a train in America where waves literally crash against your window while snow-capped mountains tower in the distance? Or a route so remote that you won't see a single road for 50 miles, just pristine wilderness stretching to the horizon. Today we're exploring America's 5 most breathtaking train routes that offer views you simply cannot get anywhere else. These aren't just trains. They're moving observation decks that take you through landscapes so stunning, they'll completely change how you think about travel. Unlike flying over the country at 30,000 feet or rushing past on highways, trains follow the most dramatic terrain, river valleys, mountain passes, and coastlines that were chosen specifically because they were the most beautiful paths through the landscape. Many of these routes go places that roads simply can't reach. Picture this: panoramic windows larger than most living room windows, comfortable seating where you can actually stretch out, and the ability to walk around freely while watching some of the most spectacular scenery in North America unfold outside. You can enjoy a meal in the dining car while crossing the Rocky Mountains, or sip coffee in an observation car as the Pacific Ocean stretches endlessly beside you. These 5 routes showcase everything from towering mountain peaks to endless desert vistas, from pristine wilderness to dramatic coastlines. And the best part, you get to experience it all from the comfort of your seat, with time to actually absorb and appreciate what you're seeing. So, which route offers the most breathtaking scenery of all? The answer might surprise you, and it starts with a journey that travelers consistently call the most beautiful train ride in all of America. What makes a train journey so spectacular that seasoned travelers call it America's most beautiful train ride? The answer lies in a route that many consider the crown jewel of American rail travel. If you take only one train journey in America, make it the California Zephyr. This legendary route, running daily between Chicago and San Francisco, is widely considered the most scenic train ride in North America. And after experiencing it, you'll understand why that reputation is well-deserved. The journey covers 2,438 miles over 51 hours, crossing 7 states and 3 time zones. But those numbers don't even begin to capture the magic of what you'll witness from those panoramic windows. Departing Chicago, you'll initially pass through the flat farmlands of Illinois and Iowa, beautiful in their own right, with endless fields of corn and wheat stretching to the horizon. But the real drama begins as you approach the Colorado Rockies. There's a moment, usually around dawn on the second day, when passengers start gathering at the windows. The flat plains suddenly give way to foothills, then dramatic peaks, and you realize you're entering one of North America's most spectacular mountain ranges. The Zephyr follows the Colorado River through a series of canyons that are inaccessible by car. For hours, you'll wind through Ruby Canyon and Westwater Canyon, where red rock walls tower hundreds of feet above the tracks. The train literally follows the river's path, curving and twisting through landscapes that look like they belong on another planet. But it's the crossing of the Continental Divide that truly takes your breath away. At Moffat Tunnel, the train burrows through 6.2 miles of solid rock beneath the Rocky Mountains. When you emerge on the western side, you're in a completely different world, the western slope of Colorado, where snow-capped peaks stretch endlessly in every direction. The route through Glenwood Canyon is particularly stunning. The train follows the Colorado River through a narrow gorge where the canyon walls rise nearly 2,000 feet on both sides. This is where you'll see some of the most dramatic rock formations in North America. And the best part, you're seeing them from a perspective that's impossible to get any other way. As you continue west into Utah, the landscape transforms again. The Zephyr crosses the Great Salt Lake Desert, where the horizon seems to stretch forever and the silence is almost profound. Then comes the Sierra Nevada crossing, another engineering marvel where the train climbs through mountain passes, tunnels and bridges that seem to defy gravity. The final approach into the San Francisco Bay Area offers yet another completely different landscape, rolling hills, vineyards, and finally, the urban beauty of the Bay Area itself. What makes the California Zephyr special isn't just the scenery, though that alone would be worth the journey. It's the way the experience unfolds slowly, allowing you to truly absorb each landscape. You have time to watch the light change on the mountains, to spot wildlife along the riverbanks, to have conversations with fellow travelers who become part of your journey's story. Many passengers say that riding the California Zephyr changed how they see America. Instead of a country you fly over, it becomes a land you truly experience, 1 mile of track at a time. But what if mountain vistas aren't enough for you? What if you crave something even more dramatic, like traveling so close to the ocean that waves literally splash against your window? Have you ever wondered what it would be like to travel so close to the Pacific Ocean that you could almost reach out and touch the waves? There's only one train in America that offers this incredible experience. While the California Zephyr conquers mountains and deserts, the Coast Starlight offers an entirely different kind of beauty. The stunning Pacific coastline combined with some of the most diverse landscapes in America. Running daily between Seattle and Los Angeles, this 35-hour journey showcases the very best of the American West Coast. The adventure begins in Seattle, where you'll immediately notice something special about this train. The panoramic windows are larger than on most routes, designed specifically to showcase the scenic beauty ahead. As you depart the Emerald City, you'll travel through the lush Cascade Mountains, where towering Douglas firs and cedar trees create a green cathedral that seems to stretch forever. One of the Coast Starlight's most dramatic moments comes early in the journey as you approach Mount Shasta in Northern California. This massive volcanic peak, rising 14,179 feet above sea level, dominates the landscape for miles. On clear days, the mountain seems to float above the surrounding terrain, its snow-covered summit gleaming in the sunlight. The train actually circles around the mountain's base, giving passengers views from multiple angles that few people ever experience. But it's the approach to the Pacific Ocean that truly sets the Coast Starlight apart from every other train journey in America. Just north of San Luis Obispo, the tracks turn toward the coast, and suddenly you're traveling directly along the Pacific shore. For the next 4 hours, your window becomes a moving picture frame showcasing one of the most beautiful coastlines in the world. The train runs so close to the ocean that you can see surfers riding waves, seals basking on rocks, and pelicans diving for fish. The tracks literally hug the coastline, sometimes running just feet from the crashing waves. During winter storms, passengers have reported waves splashing against the train windows. You're that close to the raw power of the Pacific. This coastal section includes some of the most exclusive and expensive real estate in California, areas that are largely hidden from public view. But from the train, you have front row seats to beaches, coves, and clifftop mansions that most people never get to see. The train passes through Surf, California, a town so small it doesn't even have a post office, but whose beach is considered one of the most beautiful in the state. The journey through Southern California offers yet another transformation. As you approach Los Angeles, you'll see the urban sprawl gradually give way to the metropolitan area's unique blend of beaches, mountains, and desert. The final approach takes you through some of LA's most interesting neighborhoods, offering glimpses of a city that most visitors never experience from ground level. What makes the Coast Starlight particularly special is its timing. The train is scheduled so that the most scenic portions, the mountain crossing and the coastal run, happen during daylight hours. The railroad actually adjusted the schedule specifically to maximize passenger viewing opportunities. The train also features one of Amtrak's most popular amenities, the Pacific Parlor Car, a restored 1950s lounge car with a full bar and 360-degree windows. Here, passengers gather to share stories, play games, and watch the scenery unfold while enjoying wine from the local vineyards you're passing through. Many travelers say that riding the Coast Starlight feels like experiencing 3 different vacations in one journey: the mountain wilderness of the Pacific Northwest, the rugged beauty of Northern California, and the golden beaches of Southern California. It's a reminder that sometimes the most beautiful journeys are the ones that show you multiple faces of a region you thought you knew. But if coastal beauty and mountain vistas still aren't remote enough for you, there's one route that takes you so deep into the wilderness that the nearest road can be 50 miles away. What would it feel like to travel through landscapes so remote that you might not see a single road or building for hours? Welcome to America's last great wilderness train. Named after railroad magnate James J. Hill, who was known as the Empire Builder, this route offers perhaps the most wilderness experience of any American passenger train. Running daily between Chicago and the Pacific Northwest, with one section ending in Seattle and another in Portland, the Empire Builder takes you through some of the most remote and beautiful country in North America. The journey begins in Chicago and initially crosses familiar Midwest farmland, but as you head west through Minnesota and North Dakota, you enter territory that few travelers ever see. This is the Northern Great Plains, vast grasslands that stretch to the horizon, broken only by occasional farmsteads and grain elevators that rise like cathedrals from the prairie. But it's in Montana that the Empire Builder truly lives up to its reputation. As you approach Glacier National Park, the landscape transforms dramatically. The train doesn't just pass near the park. It actually runs along the park's southern boundary for nearly 60 miles, offering views that are impossible to get from any road. The crossing of Marias Pass is one of the most spectacular railroad journeys in the world. At 5,213 feet elevation, this is the lowest pass through the northern Rocky Mountains, and the train follows a route that Lewis and Clark themselves used during their famous expedition. From your window, you'll see towering peaks, pristine alpine lakes, and forests that have remained virtually unchanged for centuries. Wildlife viewing along the Empire Builder is exceptional. Passengers regularly spot mountain goats on the cliffsides, eagles soaring overhead, and deer grazing in mountain meadows. During certain times of year, you might even see bears, though safely from the comfort of your seat. The journey through the Columbia River Gorge, as the train approaches Portland, offers yet another type of dramatic beauty. Here, the mighty Columbia River has carved a canyon through the Cascade Mountains, creating a landscape of waterfalls, basalt cliffs, and river views that seem to go on forever. The train runs directly alongside the river, offering passengers intimate views of one of America's great waterways. What makes the Empire Builder special is its sense of remoteness. For long stretches, especially through Montana, you'll see no roads, no buildings, no signs of civilization, just the raw, untamed beauty of the American wilderness. There are sections where the nearest highway is 50 miles away, meaning the train is literally your only window into these landscapes. The route also passes through Native American reservations, offering glimpses into cultures and communities that most travelers never experience. The train stops in small towns like Havre, Montana, and Minot, North Dakota, places that are off the beaten path, but rich in history and character. One of the most memorable aspects of the Empire Builder is the quality of light. Because you're traveling through the northern latitudes, the sunrises and sunsets seem to last forever, painting the landscape in colors that photographers dream about. The wide open spaces mean you can see weather systems approaching from miles away, towering thunderheads, sheets of rain, or the crystal clear skies that follow storms. The Empire Builder also offers one of train travel's great pleasures, the observation car. Here, passengers gather to share stories, play cards, and watch the wilderness unfold. There's something about the shared experience of witnessing such beautiful remote country that creates instant bonds between travelers. Many passengers describe riding the Empire Builder as a form of meditation. The rhythmic motion of the train, the ever-changing but always beautiful scenery, and the sense of being completely disconnected from the usual pressures of modern life. It's a journey that reminds you just how vast and wild America still is. But America's scenic diversity doesn't end with forests and mountains. What happens when you take a train through landscapes that seem to belong on another planet entirely? Can a landscape that seems harsh and forbidding actually be one of America's most beautiful? The answer lies in understanding the subtle magic of the American Southwest. The Southwest Chief offers a completely different flavor of American beauty. The stark, dramatic landscapes of the American Southwest. Running daily between Chicago and Los Angeles, this route takes you through some of the most iconic scenery in the country, including a passage that brings you within sight of the Grand Canyon itself. After leaving Chicago and crossing the familiar Midwest, the real adventure begins as you enter Kansas and Colorado. Here you'll experience the high plains, vast grasslands that seem to stretch forever under enormous skies. There's something almost hypnotic about these wide open spaces, where you can see weather systems approaching from 50 miles away. But it's in New Mexico that the Southwest Chief truly comes into its own. The train follows the historic Santa Fe Trail, the same route that traders and pioneers used for centuries to cross the American Southwest. As you travel through New Mexico, you'll see landscapes that seem almost otherworldly: red rock mesas, ancient pueblos, and desert vistas that stretch to distant mountain ranges. The passage through Raton Pass, on the border between Colorado and New Mexico, is one of the most dramatic railroad crossings in America. The train climbs through a narrow mountain pass, winding around curves and through tunnels as it crosses the Sangre de Cristo Mountains. The views from the train include snow-capped peaks, deep canyons, and forests of aspen and pine. One of the Southwest Chief's most famous features is its proximity to the Grand Canyon. While the train doesn't go directly to the canyon, it passes within about 20 miles of the South Rim, and on clear days, passengers can actually see the canyon's edge from the train windows. Many travelers use this as an opportunity to stop in Flagstaff and take a side trip to one of America's most famous natural wonders. The journey through Arizona showcases the incredible diversity of southwestern landscapes. You'll see the painted desert, where layers of colorful rock create a natural art gallery that changes with the light throughout the day. The train passes through Native American lands, including the Hopi and Navajo reservations, offering glimpses into cultures that have called this land home for thousands of years. As you approach Southern California, the landscape transforms once again. The high desert of Arizona gives way to the Mojave Desert, then the mountains surrounding Los Angeles. The final approach into LA takes you through the San Gabriel Mountains, offering stunning views of snow-capped peaks that seem impossible so close to the desert. What makes the Southwest Chief special is the way it showcases the raw beauty of the American Southwest. This is a landscape that can seem harsh and forbidding, but from the comfort of the train, you can appreciate its subtle beauty, the way light plays across rock formations, how desert plants create their own gardens in seemingly impossible conditions, and how the vastness of the landscape puts human concerns into perspective. The Southwest Chief also offers excellent opportunities for stargazing, because much of the route passes through areas with minimal light pollution. The night sky reveals itself in all its glory. Passengers often gather in the observation car after dinner to watch the Milky Way stretch across the desert sky. These long-distance routes are incredible, but did you know that some of America's most spectacular train journeys are hiding in plain sight on shorter routes that most travelers never even consider? What if I told you that some of the most spectacular train journeys in America last just a few hours, but pack more concentrated beauty than routes that cross entire continents? While the long-distance routes get most of the attention, some of America's most spectacular train journeys are found on shorter regional routes that offer incredibly concentrated doses of scenic beauty. The Durango and Silverton narrow-gauge railroad in Colorado is perhaps the most famous of these hidden gems. This historic steam train takes you through the San Juan Mountains on tracks that were originally built to serve silver mines in the 1880s. The 45-mile journey from Durango to Silverton follows the Animas River through a wilderness canyon that's inaccessible by car. What makes this journey extraordinary is that you're traveling on the same tracks, in cars that are nearly identical to those used 140 years ago. The steam locomotive adds authentic sounds and smells to the experience, while the narrow-gauge tracks create a more intimate connection with the landscape. The canyon scenery is breathtaking. Towering rock walls, cascading waterfalls, and pristine wilderness that looks exactly as it did when the railroad was built. Wildlife viewing is excellent, with chances to see elk, deer, and black bears. The train also passes several ghost towns and abandoned mines, remnants of Colorado's mining boom. Moving north to Alaska, the Alaska Railroad offers some of the most dramatic wilderness scenery accessible by rail anywhere in the world. The route from Anchorage to Fairbanks passes through Denali National Park, offering views of North America's tallest peak and wildlife viewing opportunities that are simply unmatched. What makes the Alaska Railroad special is the sheer scale of the wilderness. You'll travel for hours through landscapes where there are no roads, no buildings, no signs of human presence, just pristine wilderness stretching to the horizon. The train features glass-domed cars specifically designed for wildlife viewing and photography. The route also passes through landscapes that change dramatically with the seasons. Summer brings wildflowers and nearly 20 hours of daylight, while winter transforms the same territory into a snow-covered wonderland where the northern lights dance across the sky. In the eastern United States, the Great Smoky Mountains Railroad in North Carolina offers a completely different but equally beautiful experience. This heritage railroad takes you through the heart of the Great Smoky Mountains, following river valleys and mountain ridges through some of the most biodiverse forests in North America. The journey is particularly spectacular during fall, when the hardwood forests explode in colors that seem almost impossible: reds, oranges, yellows, and purples that paint the mountainsides like a living canvas. Spring brings wildflowers and rushing mountain streams, while summer offers the deep green forests that give the Smokies their name. These regional routes offer something that the long-distance trains can't: concentrated doses of specific landscapes and experiences. They're perfect for travelers who want to experience the magic of scenic train travel without committing to multi-day journeys. What all these routes share is their ability to take you places that are simply impossible to reach any other way. They offer perspectives on American landscapes that are unique to rail travel, and experiences that create memories lasting a lifetime. As our journey across America's most beautiful train routes comes to an end, it's clear that rail travel offers something truly special, a way to experience the country that connects you to both the landscape and the journey itself. From the mountain majesty of the California Zephyr to the coastal paradise of the Coast Starlight, from the northern wilderness of the Empire Builder to the desert dreams of the Southwest Chief, these routes showcase America at its most beautiful. But here's what makes train travel truly special. It's not just about the destinations or even the scenery, though both are spectacular. It's about the experience of traveling itself. In a world where we're constantly rushing from place to place, train travel reminds us that sometimes the journey really is the destination. If you're planning your own rail adventure, here are a few essential tips. Book well in advance, especially for peak seasons like fall foliage or summer travel. Consider upgrading to a sleeper car for overnight journeys. Waking up to mountain scenery outside your window is an experience you'll never forget. Pack layers, as temperatures can vary dramatically along these routes. And most importantly, bring your sense of adventure and wonder. The best times to travel vary by route. Spring through fall for most routes, though winter can offer stunning snow-covered landscapes if you don't mind shorter daylight hours. Check Amtrak's website for current schedules and prices, and remember that these journeys are popular, so planning ahead is essential. What incredible train journey would you most like to experience? Let us know in the comments below, and if you enjoyed this virtual journey across America, make sure to subscribe for more travel adventures that will inspire your wanderlust and help you discover the world's hidden treasures. Until next time, keep exploring, and remember, sometimes the most beautiful destinations are found not at the end of the journey, but along the way.